Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer, part of the Foundry by Forge College. Today, we're unpacking the mechanics of account abstraction. So if you're coming straight from our last lesson, where you just built that multisig wallet prototype, congrats on that. But today, we're going to take what you learned there, zoom way out, and look at how that very concept is fundamentally upgrading the entire infrastructure of Web3. Think of it kind of like stepping out of the garage where you just built a custom engine and walking right onto the factory floor where we're actually redesigning the cars themselves.
All right, so here's our blueprint for today. We're going to look beyond the private key, define account abstraction, break down the three-pocket model, trace the new transaction flow, and finally look at why this whole upgrade actually matters.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Beyond the Private Key, focusing on traditional accounts.
So to understand why we're redesigning the engine, we really have to look at the rigid machinery we're currently driving. In the old paradigm of blockchains like Ethereum, we have this very sharp, honestly very rigid split between two types of accounts. On the left, we've got externally owned accounts, or EOAs. These are your standard wallets. They're strictly controlled by one single private key, and they have to pay their own gas for every single transaction. Sure, they can initiate actions, but they have absolutely no brain, zero programmable logic. Then, on the right, we have contract accounts. These are your smart contracts. They have a brain, they contain executable code, but they have no hands. They basically just sit there waiting to execute code, but only when an EOA actually pokes them.
Okay, let's dive into the problem here, because relying on a single private key for your EOA is, well, it's terrifying. It acts as an engine with a massive, incredibly fragile single point of failure. Literally, if you lose that one cryptographic key, or if someone steals it, the machine is completely ruined. Game over. There's no forgot password button, no customer service desk to call, just the absolute anxiety of hoping you stored that 24-word seed phrase safely. It's a completely inflexible system that severely limits how regular, everyday people can actually use blockchain technology. Moving right along to Section 2, what is account abstraction? A new paradigm.
To fix the vulnerabilities of that old engine, we can't just slap a patch on it, right? We need to rewire the system completely. Account abstraction is simply the design approach that collapses that strict distinction between dumb EOAs and smart contracts. Basically, it means moving the authorization and the policy away from a fixed, unchangeable private key and putting it directly into programmable contract logic. It essentially turns your wallet into a programmable actor. And here's the really cool part. This is a concept you actually just prototyped when you deployed your multisig deliverable. Think about it. You literally wrote a contract that mediated which keys could approve a transaction. Account abstraction just takes that exact same logic and applies it to the account level itself. Pretty wild, right?
Now, notice how this new architecture separates the account into three distinct mechanical layers. Think of it sort of like a perfectly engineered watch. First up is presentation. This is the face of the watch, the external API and address that the rest of the blockchain actually sees. Second is policy. These are the internal gears and authorization rules that dictate who can even wind the watch in the first place. And third is execution. This is the final movement, the actual state changes and token transfers that happen once those policy rules are met.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, the three-pocket model, programmable agents.
To make this totally abstract architecture a bit more tangible, let's take a look at this blueprint. We're replacing that rigid single-key structure with modular programmable pockets for authority, payment, and action. The traditional EOA, well, it's perfectly simple, but it's horribly rigid. It's just one key for authority, you pay your own gas with your native balance, and you directly execute the action. But the abstracted account, it's entirely customizable across all three of those categories.
Think of these three pockets exactly like a pair of high-tech utility cargo pants. The authority pocket holds your rules. It doesn't have to be just one signature anymore. It could require a multi-sig threshold, or maybe an entirely new cryptographic signature scheme. Then, the payment pocket holds your gas strategy. Maybe you don't even pay with your own ETH. What if a sponsor pays it? Or what if you pay in a stablecoin? Finally, the action pocket dictates the allowed on-chain calls, complete with safety rails and spending limits. And by the way, just a quick aside, understanding these foundational mechanics, like really breaking a wallet down into its modular pockets, ties perfectly into the broader learning tracks and programs we built together here in the Forge College community. Because when you master the conceptual architecture, you go from just using Web3 to truly engineering it.
All right, Section 4, the new transaction flow, from intent to execution.
So, we've designed this beautiful three-pocket engine. But how does it actually run when you want to send a transaction? Let's map out how this builds from a simple off-chain intent all the way to final on-chain settlement. Because we aren't using traditional EOAs anymore, we aren't just signing and broadcasting a raw transaction straight to the network. Instead, we have a really distinct four-step relay race.
Step 1 and 2 operate mostly off-chain. Instead of signing a raw transaction and paying gas up front, you create what's called an intent, which is basically just a wish list of what you want to happen. You authorize this intent using whatever credentials live in your authority pocket. Then, a third party, known as a relayer or bundler, comes along, picks up your intent, and neatly packages it into an actual on-chain transaction submission. They essentially act like a specialized courier service for your account. Then we get to steps 3 and 4, which is where the on-chain magic actually happens. The blockchain executes your account's validation code. Your smart account wakes up, looks at the request the relayer just dropped off, and checks its internal policy. If the rules pass, boom, the action executes. Finally, in step 4, the relayer gets reimbursed for their trouble directly from your payment pocket. The user gets what they want, the relayer gets paid back, and the blockchain updates safely. It's a really elegant system.
And finally, Section 5, why this matters. Real-world UX benefits.
So, why go through all the trouble of relayers and programmable pockets? Simple. Because this modularity gives everyday users massive, absolutely game-changing UX upgrades. We're talking about gasless transactions, where an app literally pays the network fees for you behind the scenes. We're talking about the ability to upgrade your security policies dynamically, without having to move all your assets to a brand new address. And most importantly, we're talking about flexible signatures.
Just look at the difference here. We are finally trading the absolute anxiety of managing a single private key for the immense relief of programmable safety nets. With account abstraction, if you lose your phone or your primary key, you aren't ruined. You can use social recovery. You could have 3 of your closest friends, or maybe a hardware wallet you keep locked in a safe, act as guardians to attest that it's really you and securely recover access to your account. It takes Web3 from feeling like a dangerous high-wire act without a net to a secure, totally modern banking experience.
As we wrap up today, I really want you to think about this question. How are you going to implement these 3 pockets when we dive into the architecture and mechanics of account abstraction in our very next lesson? Seriously, what rules are you going to put in your authority pocket? How will you handle the payment pocket? Start sketching out your ideas now, because next time we're getting hands-on with the code. To continue exploring these blueprints and to dive deeper into the courses we offer for mastering Web3 topics, make sure you head over to forge.college. We've got some incredibly detailed resources waiting for you there. Keep building, keep learning, and hey, thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. See you next time.